My Peyton Sower interview by Mikey Earwood. Who is Peyton Sower? He is the assistant data analyst for Auburn University baseball. He operates TrackMan and cameras during their practices and games, and he uploads data from those things to their online cloud, which the players use to look at film and study for upcoming opponents. So Peyton, his favorite thing about his position is working with the staff. Auburn baseball has a very prestigious staff. Their head coach, Butch Thompson, is one of the most well-regarded in the country, and their assistants, among their many accolades, one is a World Series champion, several former big leaguers, and they also have several coaches who have won national championships and worked from all around the country. Last year, they had former Brave Tim Hudson as their pitching coach. His least favorite aspect of his job is when the cameras don't work at practice. That is probably the main thing from his job that he explained to me. And he said they have 4 cameras, one in each of the outfield spots and one behind the plate. And one time, the camera behind the plate stopped working, so he had to call the company's headquarters because you can't just find these cameras anywhere. He calls their headquarters, and they say they can only get him one by this March. So he had to adapt and find a new camera, and he's waiting for the one to arrive in March, which is 2 weeks into their season. Peyton's daily schedule, he starts off, he goes to the facility and he answers emails, uploads data to the cloud, and does other menial tasks like that he just needs to get out of the way. He then goes to class, and when he returns from class, he goes to a team meeting at 2:30 every day for 5 days a week. And then they go to practice or a scrimmage, whatever they might be doing that day, and he does his daily duties, TrackMan, cameras, anything analytic or anything the coaches need to be done, he'll handle that. So the most important thing for Peyton, he said, to work in this job is you have to know how to operate tech. If you can't operate tech, you simply can't do it because you have TrackMan, which is software for tracking baseball pitches and where people are and everything, very complicated. And you have to know how to operate high-tech baseball cameras, which they can slow down below the speed of time almost, it seems, to see the spin and the movement patterns of every single pitch. If you don't know how to do that, you're just going to be lost. And the second most important thing Peyton told me was you have to have thick skin. For example, in the camera situation, the coaches got mad at him because he was supposed to be filming the practice, and they're on a tight schedule. You only have 20 hours a week to practice in the NCAA. So the coaches were mad, but he didn't take it personal because he knew there's only one thing he can control, and that's himself. So having thick skin is huge for working in his field. So Peyton got the job because in the summer of 2021, he was looking to get into a college and work analytics for a team. So he emailed Coach Butch Thompson at Auburn, and he answered within 2 days and gave him the job. And it worked out because he was already accepted into Auburn for school, so he was able to go work the job as well. The most important thing that he told me was to reach out. He said reaching out and not fearing a no is one thing that a lot of people just don't do, and he wouldn't have the position today if he didn't have that fear. So what I learned, just to go off the last slide, reaching out is the most important thing. You can't get a yes if you are afraid of getting a no. You have to email and email and email. That also goes along with the one thing that he told me he regretted from his past, that he would want to do, was in high school, he wished he had reached out to coaches more because he would have had more opportunities and more jobs to select from. Instead, he waited late and he only had the one position. But thankfully, he loves Auburn. He says that's his home and he's never leaving. One thing I would do differently in the interview, I would probably ask him about his day-to-day more often, more in-depth. He kind of gave me a lot of surface level information about running TrackMan and emails, but I would also like to know, what he does during practice when he's not operating cameras or TrackMan. Like, is he able to work with the team, the players, or is he just stuck doing his own analytical side of things? And I also would have liked to know more about his future. He told me a little bit about the future of where he would like to go in pro ball, but I would also love to know more about where he would like to go in college. Thank you for listening. It will be up.